Friends, hello everyone. My name is Igor Bushkovsly, and today I will be with you. We are the coffee suppliers for Dodo Pizza, and today I would like to tell you about our story, about how we started working with Dodo Pizza, what sort of ambitions we had, what sort of obstacles we encountered, what sort of ups and downs we had, and what sort of future plans we have. Right, so our partnership started in 2011, and imagine, we were just a small, ambitious company, and we opened our first coffee roasting in small city of Syktyvkar. It was just a small shop of 6 square meters, and I was very proud. I was sitting in my office, and then there's the small woman comes into my office with a backpack. Her name was Zhenya Petelina. And she tells me, "Hello, we would like to buy the most expensive coffee machine that you have." And I ask, where do you need this? And she says, "In our basement, in a pizza shop." I say, "We have a flyer, but why do you need it in your basement, such an expensive machine?" And she said, "No, we need it." Okay, it's your call. So, okay, we signed the deal, signed the contract on the supply and delivery of this coffee machine. So I go home, and my daughter is sitting, and she shows me, "Dad, look at this cool new pizza shop that just opened." And I say, "Wow, look at this." And the Fyodor was offering a promo, buy pizza and get a free Coke. And my kid really liked this promo, and for an entire month we were buying this combo promotion. And that was the moment where our fruitful cooperation actually started. And I think just over a short amount of time, Dodo Pizza became our key partner in my business. So, yeah. But, how should I put this? Dodo Pizza was growing so quickly that we couldn't keep up with it. And at one point of time, our first competitor that got on the market, which was a company, Paulig, they just, they went like this and brushed us aside. They just brushed us aside. And that was it. And as you can see on this picture, we were just, kicked out with a very high trajectory. For me, it was shock. I was shocked, I was flabbergasted and taken aback. I didn't know what to do. So we tried to reimagine ourselves, and we thought that this shock can actually serve as a great momentum for our company. We started to develop ourselves. We started working on our errors. We tried to fixing everything. I knew that I had to bring them back. I had to bring Dodo Pizza back. And to do that, I need to launch, larger supplies, larger stock. I need my own software. We needed to stay inside Dodo office, and that's why we continued serving their coffee machines. And I was, of course, in great pain when I was fixing the coffee machines that was using the grain of our competitors. But I knew that was just, that's just temporary, and I only had one chance. So I had to bide my time, and I prepared myself. And yes, that moment actually came to us. There was keynote meeting. I met with Ilya Zomba, and Ilya, for some reason, I don't know the motivation behind this, but he believed in our company. And when I asked him, "Ilya, how can I, get back to supplying coffee to Dodo Pizza?" And he says, no problem. We don't have a federal supplier right now, and by the end of this year, you can supply to whoever you can agree with. So you can supply this, from the legislation level, there is no contradictions on this, but you cannot expect any sort of help from us. It's all on negotiation basis. And as they say, you have to stay proactive, and I just opened up a map of the city, and I started to planning my routes. I flew to my uncle in another city. I flew to Dima and Yuri Toroyanov. I was in Tyumen, I was in Getovsk. I was meeting with Sergei Gritsenko. I was meeting everyone. I was helping them open these pizza shops in Tolyatti. And everywhere I went, all of the guys started to working with our product. So we were, of course, rendering them servicing help, so pizza shops can call us and, for example, clarify something. How can we set up or adjust this coffee machine for this or for that? We were always, meeting them halfway. We were always helping them. And it turns out that for the guys, we didn't just become coffee supplier, but also as a servicing partner. Right. So, some time actually passed, and Ilya noticed this work that I laid out the foundation for. So he calls me in May 2017 and he says, come to Moscow and I'll introduce you to high management. It's time to introduce you as a supplier of our coffee to 20% of our chain. I was, coming into the office and I was saying to myself, finally, I got this. So we go into the meeting room and Grisha says that, yeah, everything's good, but we don't need MakBush. We need Lavazza. We need brand. And as you see, I had gray hair now. That was when I got this gray hair on my head. And I was sitting and thinking to myself, what is happening right now? And I understood that again, I was left without Dodo Pizza. And I was faced with the strongest global competitor, which was Lavazza. When we left meeting room, Ilya says, I never imagined that someone would actually raise this question. But I'm sorry. You have only a couple of months to sell out your remaining stocks in an orderly fashion, and then we will switch on to Lavazza. And I decided for myself, okay, that it means that you have a couple of months. I have 2 months to fight for Dodo Pizza as my client. And this very evening, I flew to Samara, city of Samara, and I was checking all of the settings with all of the pizza shops that we were servicing. We were, meeting every point, and I didn't surrender. And I think that was the right thing to do. So next, there was a test. There was a public poll that was done on the internet in communities of our social networks, and they asked, what is tasty coffee to you? And there were a couple of answers. It was either, fresh roast, it's either 100% Arabica, it's either Lavazza coffee, or it's Paulig coffee. And I think 90% of people, they answered that it's either 100% Arabica or it's just fresh roast. And it turns out that at that moment, I came back into the game. They pulled me back. But again, against me, there was a fierce competitor. Again, one more. It was a coffee laboratory. It was a company. So we held a tender. For a couple of pizza shops in Moscow wanted our coffee, a couple of pizza shops wanted their coffee, this coffee laboratory, and as they say, we just, finished pretty much at the same time. But I won by the skin of my teeth, and I was actually saved by the bell that I think 30 or 35% of the chain was working with me, and those guys, they vouched for me. And as a result, in 2018, we were announced to be as a federal supplier of coffee, and that then we started supplying both west and the east parts of Russia. So starting from 2018, I started to realize that my production again is lagging behind the production and the needs and necessities of Dodo Pizza. And again, I'm risking of losing them, this time ultimately. So we started complete revamping. We rented new facilities. We actually installed all of the gas facilities and utilities, and together with Sofia Korobleva, we started Dodo Blend, which is specially prepared for Dodo Pizza. We also launched Rainforest certification. We were the first one in the company to do so, actually. This Rainforest Alliance certified logo, that means that it's eco-friendly. Now it's proudly sitting on Dodo Pizza coffee. So 2019, what can I tell you about that? So my coffee direction at the second part of 2019 was headed by Denis Chernobayev, and I think at that point of time we made a small revolution with him. And why I'm saying that? Because we were introducing and implementing a lot. How should I put this? We changed a lot of groundwork. We changed the standards. We were also monitoring with the Dodo monitoring that the temperature of milk was always optimal, so that the guys were filling the coffee at the necessary levels. And in 2020, during the pandemic, me and Dennis, we also, we weren't resting on our laurels. We designed a new packaging for Dodo Coffee Retail, that's how I call it. And in 2020, this very coffee, is now being sold in Wildberries, or in Ozone, in Utkonos delivery service, but yet we cannot enter retail market with it. But still, we're continuing our fight and we will get there. We will obviously get there. And if someone from retail is watching this broadcast, please take notice of Dodo Coffee Retail. We pour our soul, me and Dennis, in it. Okay, let me get back a little bit to the end of 2019. And, again, very briskly, Svetlana Voroshilova just, disrupts our peaceful life. We understood what it was. I still remember it to this day. I was sitting and drinking coffee with the team in Dodo canteen, and I was just, talking to Svetlana. I'm telling her, we revamped our facilities, it's all new, it's brand new. And she says, Igor, you're not gonna pass the audit. And I was just shocked. How? I invested so much money in this. And she says, no, you're not gonna pass it. Okay, so what are the risks? If you fail 2 times, you will lose Dodo Pizza. And again, second part of all my gray hair is my first meeting with Svetlana. So I came back home. And I was just, sitting there and thinking, why? I mean, everything is, top notch. What else can I do? And so I invite a special expert to my work. And when Natalia, the expert, entered the facilities, just, the doorstep, she says, you're not gonna pass audit. Oh my god, I think to myself. And then we started this fruitful work, very, thankless work. And I think it was Christmas holidays. We tore down all the walls. You can see it, this picture. We tore down everything. All of the walls. And we were reinstalling them. We were, making everything really so that all of the conveyor belt system could operate functionally in our facilities. And in 4 months of time, we were ready to pass the audit. So, for your understanding, this is the audit. It's we spent, I think, considering all of the purchases of the necessary equipment, we spent about 8 million on it, and we continue to do so. For this year, I'm not sure if we can do it or not, but we're planning to buy a scanner, a special X-ray scanner of finished products, so that there wouldn't be any sediments or stones that would end up in our coffee bags. But audit guy told us that we need X-ray for our coffee sacks. So this fly trap, this blue fly trap, as you can see, I would like to tell you about this. It looks inconspicuous, but when this auditor guy comes out to us and he does his audit things, and I, introduce him to our facilities, and I tell him, look at this fly trap, and he says, okay, bring out the journal. What journal? The journal of how many flies you killed. I said, no, we don't have that. But we actually had journals and logs for everything. You can see at the leftmost picture. But we did have log for all of the flies that we killed. And then he comes to us again, this audit guy. And I tell him, now we're counting all the flies we killed. And he said, excellent. Bring out the analytics of the log. What? What sort of analytics? And he said, oh, yeah, what you don't know. Where do you have the most amount of flies, least amount of flies? You need to build up the chart. And I said, god damn it. And we're losing points because of this fly analytics and logs. Not a lot, but still. And that's how we passed this HACCP test. And we spent 7 million rubles so that the coffee and you would be absolutely sure in the quality of it. And when one of my roast experts asked me, Igor, why do you need this certification, this audit? You invested so much money in it. And I answer him, how many competitors we have? About 800. And my competitors, from 800, I have only 10 competitors that has this certification, this audit. Because big players can only select only one of those 10 companies, because only they can guarantee food safety. And this is the equipment that we bought in 2020, 2021. We got this nitrous station, we have this separator, we have a special sorting bench, and the auditor guys told us that we need to have two of them. One of them is the main one, the second one is the backup one, so that we wouldn't, again, let anyone down. And starting from 2020, we decided to, make a switch of this renowned company, Gießen. So now, I think our shop can produce about up to 100 tons of coffee per month, but in 2021, I think we also make an additional roasting shop. We led a special gas pipe to this shop, so we don't have any problems with gas. And it turns out that now I think we can, in orderly fashion, can increase our capacities by up to 200 or 250 tons. So that's, again, based on the demands that we get. We just, install additional roasters, and all of the documentation, it's already been received by our government agencies. Right, and now I would like to tell you about our future. This slide about the telemetry and the monitoring. So, in 2021, we started working and spending a lot of efforts on telemetry project. This telemetry project, what can it give us? Look, so now to telemetry we installed only coffee machines, WMFs, so we can remotely, in a short-term future, can connect to our coffee machines without any sort of participation of our partners. We can just call our partners and tell them, don't touch the coffee machine, we're going to set up remotely. So we can do this remotely, we can see all of the settings remotely. If Dodo Controlling is, walking in your shop and checking the time of extraction, the temperature of milk, we can see that without your participation remotely, so that your coffee would be perfect, 24/7. What else can telemetry give us is that, for instance, imagine this, picture this, a year of seasonal drinks. And if we, for example, in 2019, we introduced espresso for 3 months in our chain, we had to change the Americano settings. Here, all of the WMF coffee machines that are connected to our telemetry chain, you can readjust them within just 1 day, and one guy can do all that. It's a colossal save of money, it will save you costs, save you time across the entire chain. That's, small glimpse into the future. And I think on this note I would like to conclude my presentation. Oh yeah, that's the picture of telemetry, that's how it looks. That's the center that we're going to build. Have an amazing and productive week, everyone, and have a lovely weekend.